Hi everyone, welcome to another video by W.D. Gunn and his fellows. Today we're going to look at moon transits. So this is the last part of transits. Um, since in the last video I did say that, or I did make mention that um, the moon on any other day, when it's not full or new, it transits all the 12 zodiac positions within one day or within 24 hours. So what I said was, or emphasized was, that the only time we look for the moon transiting a certain place of the general significators is only when it's full. Only when it's full or new. That's only time we consider the transits of the moon. Only when it's full or it's new. Right? So we need the moon to transit these locations. So either the ones of the radix places of the the four signifactors, or the directional places of the four signifactors. So when the moon transits any of these places, when and only when it's full or it's new, that's only time we can consider the transit to be valid. So um, having made mention of the fact that the only time we consider the transits of the moon is only when it's full or new, we should remember also that when the moon is full and new, the moon is still transiting certain parts of the zodiac, right? So the only thing that we want it is that when it's full and new and it transits the place of the general significators, either the ones for their radix or for their directional positions. When it does that, the aspects of the moon when on will either tell us whether the market will buy or will sell, right? Yeah, whether it will buy or it will sell. So what you do simply is you open up your astrologue. So once you open up your astrologue, the simple configuration is that we're going to go to info, then set chart info. So go ahead and click on location and then say lookup, right? Then you click on location, on the location which is New York City, and then say apply. So the other thing that we're going to do is that we're going to push it back to somewhere probably January, the month of January or February, right? Uh, since we have about twice a month when we have a full, or one full moon or new moon every month, or approximately two each. So no, we've got one new moon and one full moon, I think, every month. So the rest of the time it's half moons. So half moons don't work. Half moons don't work. So half moons, we don't consider half moons. They don't work. So what you do is that you simply press OK. So we're in February, right? 19th. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go to chart and on aspect list. Aspect list. Once we do that, we should have this. So on your keyboard, if your laptop or your computer is able to have a separate key for the plus, you can go ahead and press plus. If you don't have, what you simply do is you have to press on shift and then press the plus. Sorry. So you have to press shift and then plus. So when you press shift and plus, you would have noticed that it has now gone to February 20th. So again, you press shift. It's now February 21st. So what you're going to do is that we're going to go to animate here and then jump rate. Jump rate, we're going to put days. Okay, the default jump rate is usually days. So what you do is that you can just go and click there and simply say days. Okay, right? So now we're going to keep moving the days. And what we're looking at is to pay attention at this part of the chart, because it's going to indicate whether it's a full moon or it's a new moon, right? So we'll keep pressing the plus or shift and plus. So we've got a half moon there, right? On February 24th, we've got a half moon. But a half moon doesn't work. A half moon does not work. So a half moon, we don't consider it. One considering the full and the new moon. So I'll keep moving forward. So February 26th, 27th, 28th, March 1st, okay, March the 2nd, we have got the new moon, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to animate, then jump rate I'll put in hour. Then I'll start going back to when the actual full moon, new moon started, which is approximately 1 in the morning on March 1st, 22nd rather, on March the 2nd, 2022, right? So it was barely, I think, 1 in the morning. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the V on my key, the V, the V. Then it should take me to the zodiac, as I mentioned in the first video for using astrology. So once I do that, I'm going to check the position of the moon, which is in Pisces, right? It's in Pisces. So the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to press the V again. So it starts. The new moon is starting with the moon in Pisces, 4 degrees, right? So I'm going to keep moving it to see when it's going to end. When it's going to end. So it's ending somewhere around 2 in the morning, the following day, which was on the 3rd of March, right? Around 2, or yeah, around 2 or around 3. So what I'm gonna do is uh, just around 2, when it's about to end, I'll click the V to check the position. So you'd have noticed that it has barely moved approximately. So here it's in Pisces. Pisces 19 degrees, so it has moved approximately about 15 degrees from when it started. So this is only time somehow it slows down, right? So that's the reason why we're saying that the only time we consider the transit of the moon is only when it's full and new, right? So the next thing is that since in Pisces here, it has been in Pisces for between 4 degrees and 19 degrees. I'll go to my positions, right? You'll notice that in these positions we don't have Pisces. So there was no transit of the moon while it was new. It didn't transit any of these places. So I'm going to go ahead and keep moving the days until perhaps when it's full. Perhaps when it's full, right? Perhaps when it's full, we might get a transit hit. So I'll move to days and then I'll keep moving them. So half moon, we don't consider them. So March 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, full moon on the 18th, right? So on the 18th, for the full moon, so let me go check where it's starting. So I'm going to move backwards with the minus sign, the minus key. So it's starting somewhere around 17, around 2 in the afternoon, or 14 hours, right? So I'll click the V, and I'll note that it's an Virgo 20th, right? Virgo 20th. So do we have Virgo here? We don't have Virgo. So the next sign after Virgo, we already know is Libra, and Libra still is not amongst these positions. So we might just think about it that it won't transit that position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the rate to days, and then click the V. Then I keep moving the days forward. So to half moon, we don't consider them on so 28th, 29th, 30th, or good 31st, right? 31st. Yeah. So on the 31st, I'm going to change the jump rate to an hour to check when it's starting. Okay, it's starting somewhere around 1 in the afternoon, right? Around 1 in the afternoon. So what we're going to do is click the V on our key to check where the moon is. So we see that the moon is starting its full moon in Aries 4 degrees, right? It's new moon, sorry. It's new moon in Aries 4, right? Aries 4. So I'm going to go to my signifactors position both for the radix and the general and the directional places, and now you'll note that the ascendant, the radix position of the ascendant on the God chart was at Aries 18 degrees 25 minutes. So what I'm going to do is, since our new moon is starting somewhere around 4 degrees Aries, so I'll move the chart to check which position it's going to end with. So I'm going to keep moving the new moon forward, check when it's ending. So it's ending around okay, around 4 in the afternoon, right, or 16 hours on April 1st. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the V. Once I click the V, I'll note where Iris or where the moon was positioned before the new moon ended, which was around 18 degrees Iris 59, right? So we'll notice that the position we're talking about is Iris 18 degrees 25 minutes. So it's within uh, the parameters between when the new moon is starting and when the new moon is ending. So this position is within those parameters. So what I want to do is I'm going to take the moon to this position, right? Iris 18 degrees 25 minutes. So I'll click the V again. So you find that when it's at 18 degrees 59 minutes, it's still new. It's still new. It's still new. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click the V, and then while looking at the position here, I'll start moving it to occupy that exact time that exact position or in the radix chart, so of God. So I'll move it. Okay, so it's 25. So we've got Iris 18, 26. So I'm going to change the jump rate to a minute. Then I'll move it backwards. Okay, so yeah, now we have the exact heat. Iris 18 degrees 25 minutes. So if I click the V, I still notice that it's still the new moon. It's still the new moon. So now that having been done, we have a transit on the radix position of the ascendant in the God chart by the moon, right? By the moon when it's new. Remember our checklist? We're only considering the transit of the moon only when it's full and when it's new. That's the only time it works, right? So, okay. So once we have gotten a transit on the general factors, either in the radix or directional place, when the moon is new or full, the next thing that we do is now determine the what, the aspect, right? We check for the aspect that it has made. So now that we're at exactly Aries 18 degrees 25 minutes, where the moon is stationed currently while it's new. So I'm going to check the position of the aspects of the moon. So we have about 42 aspects, but the ones that we're going to consider only for the moon. So we have on 3 here, the third aspect, we've got the moon sextile Mars. That is a negative orbit of 1 degree 30 minutes. The next we have the moon sextile midheaven, which is negative orbit as well, 2 degrees. So the other one we have got Iris. So the positive ones, I'm not going to highlight them. So I've got the other one where it's a moon sextile Saturn, which is negative orbit as well, 3 degrees. Then we have the moon sextile Jupiter, which is 3 degrees as well, negative orbit. Then the moon trine ascendant is positive, 4 degrees, we don't consider it. Then we have the moon conjunction the sun, which is positive as well, 6 degrees, we don't consider it. And the reason we're actually having a 6 degrees, even when we set our maximum orbit to be 5, is because this aspect is this conjunction is what is considered as the new moon. When the sun and the moon conjunct in Aries, it's what's considered as a new moon. So this one is one of the exceptions to the settings, right? So, however, we don't consider it because it's positive 6 degrees. So the next thing that we do is we look for aspects of the moon, which is here at the 24th or the 34th rather, 34th aspect, which is the moon sextile or semi-sextile rather, Neptune, which is 5 degrees negative orbit, right? So consider it. Then we've got the moon semi-sextile Uranus negative orbit or 5 degrees, we consider it, right? So now once we have this, we'll note that the 5 degrees negative orbit, the 5 degrees negative orbit these are big numbers, right? These are big numbers. So what we're going to do is these won't consider them, and what we're going to consider in them is the lesser ones, which is the 3 degrees, 0 or 3 minutes rather, right? Which is smaller than the other one that we had here, which is 3 degrees 41 minutes. So I'll cancel this, right? And I'll consider this, the 3 degrees 3 minutes. But this is again bigger than the other one, which is 2 degrees 35 minutes. So this is a bit small. And then the one that's smaller than this is the last aspect that we had, which is 1 degree 30 minutes. So this is ultimately the one that will cause the movement in the God chart on the day when the new moon started, which is the previous day, not April 1st, but on March 31st, right? Or March 31st, yes. So what aspect are we having? This is a least orbit that we have of all the negative ones, which is 1 degree 30 minutes. So what we are seeing is that the moon sextile Mars, sextile being 60 degrees aspect, which is good. So it means that we're going to have a buy in the God chart. So we're going to have a buy in the God chart when the new only on the day when the new moon starts. So we have the moon sextile Mars. So once we have the moon sextile Mars with a negative orbit of 1 degree 30 minutes, which is the list of all the negative orbits, right? So I'm going to remember that it's the moon's sextile Mars, which is a good aspect. So we're going to have a buy. When are we going to have a buy? Only on the day when the new moon starts, right? Since we're looking at the new moon here, right? So I'm going to change the jump rate to an hour and then take the moon to when the new moon started, which is the previous day, right? Okay, so it starts somewhere around 1 in the so the jump rate I've changed it to a minute so that I exactly pinpoint exactly when it starts. So okay, so we start exactly at around the new moon started around noon, half past noon, half past noon, yes, on the 31st of March 2022. That's when it started. So this is when it started, and then it transited the radical place of the ascendant, which is Aries, 18 degrees 25 minutes, right? So again, it's new, and we'll see that again it's still in Aries, right? So whatever the case, this exact time, or on this exact day, first of all, this exact day, March 31st, the moon was going to cause a buy. The buy, remember, it's the aspect between the moon sextile Mars, which was a negative orbit of 1 degree 30 minutes. So it was going to cause a buy on this day, starting at exactly noon, right? noon. So we'll mark this day, this exact day and point. So what we're going to do is that to see the effect of the moon, we'll go to the go chart. So I had my meta trade opened, and I'll scroll to March 31st. Right. So I'll scroll to March 31st. So again, the moon transits when it's new and full, and checking for the exact time is the only thing that we do only for this one. The reason for that is because the effects of the new moon and the full moon are immediately put into effect without hesitation, and the exact time the new moon or full moon starts, that's exactly when the effect is supposed to be felt in the market, no matter what, right? So these other transits, the effects might be felt another time than when they actually started, than when the aspect started. But for the moon, it's the only one which we are going to be doing, which we have this rule where the exact time of its starting each new or full moon, and only when it has had a transit within the positions of the radix or the directional places of the generating factors, when it's new or full, that's the only time we're going to consider it as well. So I'm going to move to that day, which is March 31st. Okay, this is May. So May. So again, I repeat, when the moon is full or new, right, and it transits place of the radix or the directional places of the generating factors. The generating factors being the sun, the moon, the new, the sun, the moon, the ascendant, and the midheaven, or house what? House 1 and house 10, the sun and the moon. Those are the 4 generating factors. So when on the places of these, both in the radix and in the directional place, when the moon is full or new and it transits those places, the aspects that it makes while on those places, those are the ones that are going to determine the effect that's going to be felt on that particular day when it makes that transit, right? Whether it's going to be a buy or it's going to be a sell. The other point again is the time when the actual new or full moon happens, when we've had a valid transit, right? The effect of the moon is going to be felt starting from that very time. So our time that we had the transit, okay, so here is the first 31st March, and we see that it was a buy. So we say that the exact time was around 12:30, which is somewhere here, right? So this is the candle for the half past moon. Okay, so I can set this to exactly the time. So okay, so the exact time was what? Was 12:38. So 12:38 on the 31st of March 2022. That was exactly the time when the the moon started, and we said it was going to buy, so I'll put green here, color green, green. So it was going to buy because it had a good aspect, which was the moon sextile, which is a 60-degree Mars at a negative orbit of 1 degree 30 minutes. So it will stay up from that time when the new moon starts, which is here, until the rest of the day. And again, I emphasize that this is the only time we actually trade the time. So the time gives the support or resistance depending whichever direction we're going. So this gives a very good support. The exact time when the new moon started gave a very good support, and also considering that it was a valid transit, because the transit happened only when it was full and new, and then there was a good aspect. So it was going to be a buy, so it was going to have a support immediately when the new moon started, which was at 12:38 on March 31st, 2022. So we would have gotten a very good rally or buy, and would have made money here only on this day. So once the market is up, it will be up for the rest of the time. For the day, it won't go below this, and then we'll close as a buy, and yeah, you'd have made your money just like that. So again, the last part is that once the aspect has been established for us, on the March 31st, or so I'll say March 31st, 2022, right? It was new moon, and the moon transited 18 degrees Aries, 25 minutes, right? And the new moon started at 12:38 on March 31st, 2022. So this was a time when we needed to buy, because it had a very good transit, which was moon sextile, or as I said, 60 degrees Mars, a negative orbit of 1 degree 30 minutes. Negative orbit, so negative orbit, so negative orbit of 1 degree 30 minutes. So once we had a very good aspect when the moon transited Iris 8 degrees 25 minutes when it was new, right? So this good aspect was going to happen on the day when the new moon started, which was on March 31st, 2022, at exactly when it started, which was exactly 12:38, and we did see a very good rally or buy on that particular day. So having said this completes all the videos on transits, or anything that has to do with transit. So please comment in this, give comments. If you've got questions, please ask, and please follow us to the Forex Factory website, or forum rather, and you can make your discussions there, and I'll be able to answer. And even if you comment on this video, I should be able to answer you on time. And yeah, looking forward to the next video, and please like and subscribe, and please share the videos to other people that might be interested to use astrology in trading or yeah, or trading, whether it's cryptocurrencies or metals markets or currencies or whichever form of trading they want to trade, whether it's just generally markets and other stuff. This is fundamentally what astrology can do and is used in whichever market you're trading. So please, even if you're using it for just personal readings, uh, the same still does apply. So please share, like, and subscribe. Having said this, thank you for taking your time to watch the video. Uh, please do look out for more videos. Yeah, thank you.